feel like that was a good one for this one because I don't know if y'all saw the clip, but SuperHead was on a podcast, right? And she was talking her talk. Now, if y'all know who SuperHead is, I don't know what to tell you, but
Her name
anyways.
says it all.
I mean, you know what I mean? But anyway, she was saying, like, you know what? She wants to normalize men marrying hoes. She talked about how patriarchy is what gets in the way of men marrying hoes. She said, like, yo, get you a hoe, bro. Like, you don't get all the sex you want and need, balls drained, all that. Why don't you get you one? Don't let patriarchy get in the way of getting your balls drained. So what do y'all think in regards to, I guess, this whole thing about pushing past the narrative of not marrying a hoe? Would you guys suggest that men be open-minded? Because she also went on to say that y'all marry these good girls, then you go fuck the hoes. Now you got problems at your crib, right? Why don't you just marry the hoe in the first place? You dig what I'm saying? So she was like making logical sense, I thought. So what are y'all thoughts about that? Karen Steffens with the head. Sorry, go ahead. Is she ahead of our time? Right? Is she onto
She was
something?
indeed, yeah.
Anyone? Bueller?
So I'll start by saying I think she is right. She has good points, but I think she's missing a major point. I think that women are hoes. Women are sensational hoes, situational hoes, right? Both of those things probably. Anyway, I sometimes you have to bring the hoe out of a woman. You know what I mean? Or wait, because I'm conflating hoe and freak. So let me put the freaks to the side, right? Because being a freak and being a hoe are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So by her saying you want a hoe, you want a chick with some bodies and some mileage on her. I don't necessarily think that is, what's the word? It should be extra weighted, either against her, past under a certain number, or for her, right? Because what it is, it's about skill. Yes, I would. Yeah, you want a woman who's got some skills, right? Whether she learned those from YouTube videos or watching porn or wherever she studied to get to school or the head knocks, hard knocks, whatever. Then hey, yes, she got a degree. I put her in knowledge, put her to college, get that knowledge. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know what I'm saying, from time in the field, right? She could be even very teachable, right? And then she wouldn't need to have all that preloaded knowledge, if it was easy to impart wisdom into her in these ways. So no, I don't know. I mean, I personally know a person who went out looking for a hoe, thought they found a hoe. When they got married, she didn't want a hoe no more. And they were disappointed. And it was a conflict. And I think that people are different things for different reasons in different seasons. So yeah, you get you somebody who probably has principles like you, but how, like they say with stocks, past performance is no indication of future returns. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. People will flip on you, especially like I think S&M mentioned earlier. You come from trauma. If they can label it back to trauma, then the light switch will go, and it'll be a whole different person. Be the flip side or whatever. You think you got a hoe, and now she's Mother Teresa. You never know.
I think this conversation is interesting. I agree with her. I think you should marry the slut. You should marry the hoe. And the reason why is because in our community, we are constantly labeling women one way or another because we're trying to either bring them shame or make them feel shameful or something that's natural, i.e. sex. And I think it's hypocritical because in other communities, like if you ever went to a PWI, them white girls straight up hoes. They are the most freakiest as, let me just put it this way. They have a tendency to be openly available in some cases, and in which case, but they still get married because they're told like, hey, your college years while you're looking for your husband, that's also the time that you can be your freak, right? You could be the hoe. You could be this. They don't get judged for it. That's why you have so many white porn stars that are actually married, right? Whereas with the Black community, we always got to be the fucking Madonna. We always got to be the prim and proper, the prissy. But at the same time, you want us to be freaking the sheets. And so, Jay, I appreciate you delineating between freak and hoe because sometimes that hoe experience is what give you the freak in the sheets. And so stop shaming the women for being the freak in the sheets that you wanted, even though you want her to be a lady in the streets, particularly if she's presenting as a lady in the streets and as that freak in the sheets. So I support her analogy or her recommendation of marry the hoe because that's what you want. And on top of that, and I'm also saying this from the person who, as you know, never had a whole face, as I've already mentioned. And so the good girl, because she pointed out it was a great point out to me is that the good girls get cheated on all the time, right? They get cheated on with the hoes. And so why you just don't skip the good girl and cause her trauma and cause her to become whatever the bitter stereotype or whatever that becomes of her by just going straight to the hoe? Like, bypass the good girl if you're not going to be able to stay committed to the good girl and go ahead and get the hoe, especially if you're not willing to teach the good girl the things that you want in the relationship, i.e. how freaky you want her to be. You want her to be the throat goat and you ain't teach her that because you knew she was a good girl when you got her, so you went and got the hoe to handle that, then just skip the good girl. Go straight to the hoe. Then on the same token, though, for the good girls, if you a good girl, I'm gonna put quotation marks because I think that's just an archetype as well. That you like, oh my God, why we have this good girl, bad girl bullshit. But anyways, because it's just human nature, point blank, period. But if you're a good girl and you know your man want to freak in the sheets, then go ahead and be that too. Get some, be willing to make those changes and challenge yourself if you're uncomfortable, and then perhaps the man can make you feel comfortable as well, so that you are more comfortable in your sexuality. So I support it. I think her statement actually helps confront men in regards to their double standards, right? And I think that is a great opportunity, as you guys always say, to negotiate. So you hoes out there, go ahead and start negotiating your value. And not say it that way. That was mad toxic.
What's it?
No.
I mean, it's late in the show.
Was
There's overdrive. You know what I mean?
Go
There's
for it.
overdrive, girl. Let's read this thing on home, though. I feel like we already got a little bit of